We've told you before about South Carolina's rank as second worst in the country for women killed by men in domestic violence situations.
Well, now there's an effort to get the state to try something different by taking guns away from convicted abusers.
Robert Kittle tells us why it's not done already, even though there is a federal law.
The House's Criminal Domestic Violence Reform Committee was asked to pass a new law to take guns away from abusers. 77% of the women murdered by an intimate partner were killed with a gun.
It's already against federal law for convicted domestic abusers to have guns, but there's no state law and no mechanism in place to take away those guns.
Now the state would have to try to get a federal indictment and then go through the federal courts to enforce it. A state law would speed things up.
People recognize that this is not a Second Amendment issue. This is an issue of taking guns out of the hands of very dangerous people who are already legally prohibited from having them.
The question lawmakers will have to figure out in writing the law is exactly how to take the guns away. In some states that already have laws, abusers have to forfeit them when they're convicted. Others are allowed to turn them in later. And in one state, there's the option for abusers to sell their guns. There's also another problem lawmakers will have to consider.
For many law enforcement agencies who've looked at this issue, comes the issue of danger to law enforcement officers when they go to make that seizure, because you're dealing with someone that has a firearm. But then additionally to that is, does a law enforcement agency actually have the room to store the weapons, and for how long are they going to be specified for the storage?
All questions this committee and lawmakers will have to answer. In Columbia, Robert Kittle, 7 on your side.
The state knows who has those guns if they're bought through a licensed gun dealer.
But here's another problem. If they're bought at a gun show or from another person, the guns are not licensed. The state doesn't know about those guns. 35 states and Washington, D.C. already have laws prohibiting people who have domestic violence protective orders from buying or owning guns or ammo. Those states include North Carolina and Tennessee, but not Georgia and South Carolina.
Apple just unveiled a smartwatch and